Um, like the moves that you do, make yourself uncomfortable to make it comfortable. Like, but don't choke them out because they're giving you that position. You're like the way you're gonna work it out is try to use your brain and try to figure like that sticky situation and get yourself out of it, because there's some grapplers out there that will put you in the worst situation ever within that matter of seconds, and they could tell whether you're experienced or not. So at least if you have that experience, you know how to like move on with it. That's why I love it, because everything was just flowing really naturally. That's why it was enjoyable to watch and stuff. Like, it was a great class.
I'll tell them, hey, register it, and then we'll keep on going. And then if they make that, if they do it again, I'll say, okay.
Jiu-jitsu, learning triangles, learning arm locks, learning how to connect things, learning, like put them in turtle, like the 4 posts. This is how a table works. This is how you get people off balance. And then I got another guy that he'll send me videos that he sees online. He's like, man, this looks really cool. Let's practice this today. He just got his blue belt, so he kind of gets it already. And then we'll do whatever he wants to do. And if I show up and he says, I don't have anything today, we'll roll for 10 minutes, or something will come up and he'll be like, let's do that today. And we'll just hammer that out.
Pad work, and also a trainer here. And I could tell, like, when they're in clinches or anything like that, I already could tell. I was like, if you're trying to convert to MMA, you guys are going to be in big trouble, because you guys are so weak on your fundamentals. None of you guys did high school wrestling, and also like.
Well, yeah, appreciate you taking time to join us tonight. Gary, what's up, dude? Happy New Year.
No, I didn't. I went and looked, and it came to my spam one time.
Yeah, that was a parking lot. One of those, you're just sitting there chilling, and all of a sudden your brain goes, hey, guess what? I have this idea for you in a parking lot in the middle of nowhere. And so I've been taking my phone. I did this the other night. I'm working on my little vlog thing, and one of them is really about observations. And it kind of ties into the book Blink. I don't know if you ever read that book. The difference between people who have luck and no luck is all about observations, really, at the end of the day.
Daniel with Grapple Cove, he's medically retired as well from the Marine Corps. Because Jay, when you talk, you can I think it was your foot got stuck in the mud or something like that.
A left C right C with the Germany unit, and the dude freaked out on a celebratory fire, and my leg got caught on the gunner's seat and snapped everything again too. So that was pretty painful.
But you were saying, you told me I was young. You got to show your face, man. You can't call me a young man if wonderful. All righty. So with that, I want to go ahead and get us into the topic for the evening. Aaron is the person that puts together all of the emails. He puts together all of the YouTube JJEMs. He does all of that. I have nothing to do with it. Aaron does it all. What I want to do, the only thing that we do, he asked from me, is just a little bit of information on what to talk about, focus, determination, discipline, all that good stuff. I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. And then let's open it up for everybody else, and then I'll wrap it up.
But be really focused and deliberate about that choice. And what I mean by that is, right, a lot of us might just off the top, if we talk about, hey, what's your resolution for your business this year? What do you want to do better? Oh, I want to, get more customers, right? That's not really a resolution, because getting more customers, there's a lot that goes into that. So we want to kind of narrow that down. If your goal is more customers, which that's a great goal, your resolution needs to be built around the habits that will sustain and support that, right? So this is part of that, right? So what worked for me, if I got 2 customers, what did I do to get those 2 customers? And can I replicate that? And then that's going to kind of narrow it down even to more focus. Like, okay, if make more posts on Instagram, well, we need to focus that even more. What kind of posts are you going to make? And how many posts are you going to make? And when are you going to make them? Now you can put all your energy into what that looks like. Okay, are you going to do 4? Are you going to do all those 4 in one day and then schedule them to post throughout the week? Are you going to do 1 a day on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday? Like, let's get specific and really focused so that it's just easy to do, right? When it's okay, which would be awesome. I guarantee you, anybody who's looking to improve their health, 10 minutes of kettlebells, and Sean Burma will tell you this is true. 10 minutes of kettlebells a day, or even 5 days a week, will change your physical form, your health, all that good stuff. So 66 days, you got to be specific. I'm going to do 10 minutes of kettlebells every day. Pick a time, right? another really good tip to integrate a habit, aside from committing to an understanding this is going to take time, is connecting that new habit to an already existing routine. Okay. And what I mean by that is take something you do every day, anyways. All right. Maybe it's coffee in the morning. All right. And then build on that. So if it is that Instagram thing, right? Okay. I'm going to post or 2 months, and then you can look at your success. If you can sustain that.
Yeah, I have something. And I know
I
that
love it.
I know Michael's definitely read this book, but Atomic Habits by James Clear is like, I tend to get distracted and I move away from it. Yeah, great book. I mean, it really narrows down how to really create good solid habits. But my something that was a goal for me last year that I really slacked on this year, towards the end of the year, that I'm really putting back towards the top of my list this year is
Yeah, I love that, dude. I'm big into like well, it's all blurry, but shit. That's my whiteboard calendar, and with the kids or with work or whatever other stuff, and then has like kind of my check boxes of what I need to be accomplishing, for the business. So yeah, I love that. Looking at your week ahead, I do it a month at a time to kind of give me the month view. And then then as I sit here, I could see, okay, today I need to check my boxes here, here, and here. So yeah, I love that, man.
I am freaking excited about talking to Jay because, dude, there it is. His hand went up. I knew it, man.
I have
Over the next year. We're going to probably have a steady trickle of some other outside source entrepreneurs that Aaron and I will be working with, but it's not going to be grappling or martial arts really related. It'll be more along the lines of like, it'll be GrapplApp for business is what we're calling it. So we expect that to do pretty well. And I'm imagining probably around 100 customers over the course of a year.
If anything, utilize the business to, I mean, I guess my big goal right now is to get out from under debt, try to get that kind of debt sort of figured out. So finding a way to do both at once, work more, make extra money, get this debt paid off, and then focus on the business full time, I guess.
We're here, dude, and
Yeah.
we'll help you get that going. So the big thing, like I think that's a really important goal to recognize, wanting to get out of debt. So same kind of thing that I was talking about earlier is be specific of what that's going to take and look like. You're like you said, you work full time already, so you already have.
Yeah, I think that's been the goal. I tried a couple things out. Like I signed up, I worked for this lady that was doing kayak tours for a while, and that was like a cool way to get outside. But I was spending still like 4 hours a night away from home versus and it just wasn't doing it. So I was skipping jujitsu. I wasn't working out. I was going to do these stinking tours.
Jocko's book for kids, The Way of the Warrior Kid. I think Aaron will design your stuff like top notch. Like it's amazing. And anything you want after that, he will do top notch as well. So
Yeah.
he did like a couple logo designs for us that we put on some gear and some flags. But finding that niche, and Aaron made our website really attract people. And the other day, one of the homeschool families I actually teach the kids and the parents.
Homeschool kids. And it's now become a source of income that, alrighty. So who else we got? Evan, I kind of cut you off there though, dude.
Yeah. Let's start there, buddy, and then we'll just walk you through the whole process, man. Also, I dropped GrappleCo's Instagram there. Give them a follow.
I do follow him. I do like his stuff. I guess, yeah, took a little bit of inspiration from him, but that's not necessarily what I was going for. But if it gave you that impression, then I'll take that as a compliment.
I know that you guys are going to be here so that I'm success going to these kava bars and right, Gary, just rapping with people and meeting them. And you're reading something else. He's checked out. Are you there?
I don't know who all was there. Gary, obviously Daniel, Michael. I don't know if anybody else on here, but was it like Danny and Daniel, was that your guys' first time doing basically what they did, guys? If you missed it in the reel, Grapple Cove does open mats from time to time out of their house, and they did some drills and training with
Gary has a fake pistol
I don't know how he got it. I think he said from his law enforcement days, but it's something I brought up to him. What, Gary? I think was it one open mat or your first training session or something like that here. I was like, I want to get these pistols because I feel like, because I'm a big believer in teaching jujitsu. I mean, the sport of jujitsu and all the fancy stuff is really cool, but I'm a big believer in empowering people, especially women and children, with actual like self-defense and stuff. So I had done that training before with knives or guns, but then Gary says, "Oh, I have one. Like, let me bring it." It's more of not like I'm not trying to score points or even get a mission or break your arm. Like, my sole focus is on controlling that weapon
and like a practical application. I mean, that's just what appeals to me, especially. But it is cool because, you know, I see you guys doing your stuff, but then it's like, okay, that's
everything that we knew about jujitsu is just like out the window because you're so worried about like that one thing, and like it changes your priorities. Whereas like if you're just even wall wrestling is like totally different than the regular like stand-up game in grappling. And so like adding the element of the wall and the fact that you're trying to control something like the hand reaching for the waistband, that made a huge difference. And yeah, I have to look back at the footage again to like pull out some more like insights, but that was like the biggest thing was
man, I love that, Cedric. I appreciate that. And yeah, I still think that there's for them to get involved maybe, or I don't know what it is, but I see it even out here. Like I mentioned, I work with the Sacramento Sheriff Department, teaching their tactical med, but I help with their
But you know, when it comes down to the training, if it's not done on the clock, it's going to be nearly impossible to get any sort of consistency across the board of that officers are going to do it on their own time. So that is something that really could be implemented into, you know, to really getting into some of these agencies, right? Like your time is as flexible as theirs, whereas, you know, generally it's like, well, now we have to devote a day. You have to do it either on a day off, or now we have to take an officer down and those kind of things. But if you can have it, yeah.
Lynn, I think Lynn, if Lynn's still, Lynn, you had something to add?
It was at store by my wife a Christmas present, and the off-duty police officer happened to be the chief of a small department here in San Antonio for his small department. And yeah, these guys in Texas, there's three paths to becoming a local law enforcement. One, if you're in a big city, you go through an academy. If not, you go through a community college, or you do a lateral transfer from another big city. We had classes, but we had to devote our own time. And like Gary was saying,
thank you to all the new faces. Evan, welcome to the group. Jay, hope to see you again. Happy New Year to everybody. Nick, brother, glad you were able to drop in.